So yeah, this is also continuation of episode 7, the smile that hides the struggle. Now let me talk about my own experience. I finished secondary school 2017 and I did not write JAM that year. I wrote JAM 2018. And my first JAM I wrote, I wrote the high score. I scored 199. That though it wasn't that great, so it was useless. I did not use it at all. So the other year I scored above 200, and I plan to, and I seek for admission into the University of Ibadan, and applying for this University of Ibadan, it was nice, right? Now, me going for the exam, because that was 2018, fast forward down to 2019 rather. And that 2019, it was still paper, pen, and pencil. So, writing that exam, I scored 43. I think I remember. So I was not allowed to. So I did not meet the cutoff. So I did not have aggregate. So when I got home, and my dad was not around, and I told him what I scored, there's this look he gave me. That read so much of disappointment, and my dad giving me that look gave me this sign that guy, he failed. That was my first time though. So the second time I prepared, I worked as much as I could. I was also teaching, so it wasn't that nice. I know that I did not prepare that well, but I did. And the second time I wrote, I scored 47, which means I am not going to get an aggregate. And during this time, it was COVID-19 period, so the exam has to be postponed to 2021. So I had enough time to read, and I read because I had to leave Lagos, and that was the first time leaving my family down to Ibadan. Now, being there, failing twice, posting and not even getting even close. This second time, when I told my dad what I scored, it did not even he gave this more of disappointment look, and that look just like, it is finished for me, guy. I was like, bro, and that's when I started planning on how to commit suicide. Now, the thing about this story is that the first failure gave sign that, yeah, this is what you are going to do if you do not get this one. So I already have it in my mind that once I do not meet up this is, and I've been giving this, and I've been saying things like, this is do or die. So when you see students after an exam and they wrote an exam, how they see result, and the next thing they commit suicide, it's not that it is something that they just plan at that moment because of the result. It is some things that they've seen and they have heard about their parents, or their parents have said, or things that they have said. I remember feeling that first result. Over the next 3 months, I could not just go home. I had to stay late at work. I decided to take extra lessons just not to hear this. Just the year that I failed. Look at Jonathan. I was not like an example at home. Look at Jonathan now. What did he do? He failed. So it was humiliating. And now again, the second time, failing again, I just had it in mind that, so I was already planning that if you continue to go on like this is what I'll do. But something just kept me, and what kept me was my mom. My mom was the one always telling me, Jonathan, you'll be great, and those statements, and my sister too, those are the only thing that kept me from doing that horrible thing. So my point is that whatever you feel, and those are the things that make me not to do that. And it was because of the help of my mom, and that is why I didn't do that. So there is my story, and it's going to be attached to the main episode. The main episode, I just talk about it, but I felt that I need to tell you how my own story of suicide. There are other times I've thought about it, but this is the only one that was there. That it was there, and I was completely depressed about it. Then I went on to write the exam again, which was in 2023. I wrote the exam again. Writing the exam again, I was this time very, very close to mark. And this time, I lost faith in almost everything. I just felt that there's nothing good for me. But I did not think of suicide that much, because at that time I've grown, I've learned. But yeah, until I came to OAU. And well, coming to OAU is like a blessing also. But yeah, that is it. Thank you for listening. That is my own experience about suicide. So my point is that always reach out to somebody, especially those that are writing for the same. Their own is always, and that all my mates have gone to school during those times. So me just being there at home, my dad is always using all those people as example. Comparison, that kills me, man. That kills me. That shit was just so crazy. Because telling me about people that have passed exam, how they read, and I suffer because of that thing. But yeah, thank God I've grown past that level. And with the help of parents and people asking about, mine was my family, that my mom, my sister, they really looked after me. So that's why anytime I see results is being released, or I know anybody writing any exam and I hear that the result isn't good, I will just try to reach out to people. So it is an assignment for everybody to reach out to people. And the funny thing is that during the time I was teaching, I was still smiling. I was smiling. Yeah, I was smiling. But I was teaching, but inside me I was just thinking of suicide almost every time. And I just wonder. It's even recent one. I said I was smiling and I was still thinking of suicide. So somebody can be smiling and still thinking of suicide. So we should always check on people. So, and that is why, since I could feel that I can see somebody smiling, and genuinely I would feel that this person is not really okay. So that's it. I've said that's it plenty times. I think this is where I'll end it. I just feel like sharing this to you so that you know how I felt, because I've grown past that. And if you are in this situation, you can also grow past that. But just, you're not alone. That's my point. If I had known that there's something like this, then I would have just glued to it and be listening to it. Just even a little message by one guy, Modifying Humanity, I was just okay with that message, because that time that was another thing that made me go through it. So thank you for listening.